Have you been relieving yourself on me this whole time?
'Tis the season for giving. Whoa! Santa's tried to kill that little kid!
Christmas time is here once again. Christmas. Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. Every year, I talk about tradition, things we like to do every single year, and, well, this year is going to be no exception. I decided to keep things a little simple this year, and instead of really focusing on a single topic, I decided I just want to talk about some of my favorite Christmas specials that I like to watch every year. Really short stuff too, you know, like 20 minutes, maybe an hour, but, you know, stuff that you can get out of the way really quickly. But why do I want to keep things simple this year, you ask? I don't know. Let's start with one we all ought to know. The SpongeBob Christmas special, Christmas Who?
Christmas who?
Classic episode from early SpongeBob that has that perfect humor the show is famous for, and is all sweet with its Christmasisms. SpongeBob goes to Sandy's tree dome to have another fight to the death with her, but he mistakes her Christmas lights for a fire. Surprised SpongeBob doesn't know what Christmas is, Sandy tells him all about it. Not sure if she included Jesus at all, but she did mention Santa Claus, which captivates the little yellow cheese curd. So SpongeBob goes off and tells everyone all about Christmas. And all of Bikini Bottom, except for Squidward of course, is on board to give Christmas a try.
This thing is as good as a blank check, direct from the First National Bank of Santa Claus. Brother. Yeah.
The only real conflict comes halfway through the episode with Squidward telling everyone that Christmas is lame and Santa isn't real. But really, the whole episode is just fun. The voice acting in early SpongeBob is kind of like early Simpsons to me. It always felt so much more genuine. Everyone's naivete to Christmas is believable, and the excitement just makes me smile. And when things go wrong, I swear, Tom Kenny has such a way of making SpongeBob not just crying, but sobbing uncontrollably, not only sad, but hilarious too.
I made it for you so you wouldn't feel left out when Santa came!
Speaking of, this is one of the early episodes that includes Patchy the Pirate, also played by Tom Kenny. And man, he's just hilarious as this character.
3 bells! Well, we all know what 3 bells means.
Free ice cream!
No, you silly livers. No!
It must be the pirate speak because the way he pronounces things and his mannerisms are just so funny. He can even appear to be genuine. How do you do that as a pirate with a dollar store costume?
Aww, Patty left me a little Christmas present.
The whole episode has a lot of great gags. There's never a moment that drags. It comes and goes so quickly. I would even say this is probably one of my favorite SpongeBob episodes of all time. It's funny, cute, and has that Christmas charm that you'd want this time of year.
Santa! This is the greatest gift you could have given me.
This is usually paired along with the episode Snowball Effect, and that one's also really fun too. And to be honest, I didn't hate the second Christmas special, it just wasn't as good. But altogether, the SpongeBob episode Christmas Who is completely worth seeking out this time of year.
My wish is that the people of Bikini Bottom will stop paying any attention to the inane dribble that is constantly streaming out of this dunderhead's mouth.
Gee, Squidward, maybe Santa will bring me a dictionary so I can understand what you just said.
From one Nickelodeon property to another.
Ho, ho, ho! Ho, ho, ho!
Stinky?
The Ren and Stimpy episode Son of Stimpy is the Christmas special for that show. Well, it's the closest to one it gets. Because it doesn't even start out as a Christmas special, it just kind of becomes one. Stimpy is just existing when suddenly he feels a strange sensation. Highbrow humor, folks. Stimpy goes to tell Ren about it, and Ren doesn't believe Stimpy for some reason. And of course, Stimpy can't recreate it. So Stimpy decides to set off to find his smelly creation. Now, what on earth does this have to do with Christmas? It doesn't.
Come on, Stimpy. It's been 3 years now. I'm starting to worry about you. I don't care.
But the rest of the episode takes place during Christmas time. Stimpy is too busy being depressed because he can't find Stinky. Ren tries to cheer Stimpy up, but nothing he does works. And I think the humor just comes from how serious the rest of the episode takes itself.
Stimpy! You've been out here for months. Come in and help me decorate the tree.
There aren't really that many jokes. It's more just funny because of how absurd it is that Stimpy is depressed because he can't find his fart.
He talks to farts, man.
When the Christmas aspect comes into play, you do get some nice cozy backgrounds and colors, as well as a really harsh winter in the city. I think Billy West as Stimpy really shines in this special. It's not too often you get to see Stimpy being sad or upset. And remember how I praised Tom Kenny for making SpongeBob crying funny? Billy West does it 10 times better because Stimpy doesn't just cry or sob. He starts freaking screaming, and it's both hilarious and really sad too. Ren gets some good moments here too. I especially love how concerned he is for Stimpy during the episode. It makes the absurdity of the whole situation that much more funny. I especially like this homage to the first episode here. Of course, we can't talk about Ren and Stimpy without mentioning the gross out humor. I mean, it's about Stimpy looking for a fart, so that should set the bar here. But you get the staple gross close-ups and jokes you can't believe they got away with in the 90s.
Dad, I want you to meet my fiancée, Cora.
I guess you could say this episode is a parody of a Christmas drama. I wouldn't say it makes me feel excited for Christmas by watching it, but it does make me laugh every time, and that's still a good feeling to have this time of year. How about another special that's more of a comedic look at the holiday season?
Yes, and Santa wants another $1.50 an hour, but apparently he's not getting that either!
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Billy and Mandy Save Christmas, an hour-long TV special that for some reason you can't really find on any official source. But this is one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows, and by proxy, one of my favorite Christmas specials to watch. Billy, Mandy, and Grim are visiting the mall to see Santa, who is revealed to be General Scar. I love how mean-spirited the show can be sometimes, especially to this character.
I got your Christmas cheer right here!
Oh, please, it's just a job!
Merry Fistmas, jerkwad!
While the mall is being destroyed, Mandy says she doesn't believe in Santa, so Grim takes the three of them to the North Pole to meet the real Santa. But upon arriving, it's revealed that Santa has been bitten by a vampire. So it's up to our heroes to find and kill the head vampire that turns Santa back to a human and save Christmas. And I gotta say, everything about this setup is perfect. It's something you'd only really get out of a show like Billy and Mandy. It's dark without becoming depressing, has an element of horror that makes it funny, and is altogether a really creative idea for a Christmas special.
I always hated the living undead. Wandering around, all dead but alive. Makes a mockery of my job.
The acting from the whole crew is on point. This is season 5, so it's pretty late into the show's life, but I feel like you get everyone's best during this special. Greg Eagles as Grim is perfect as always, having Grim be all excited for Christmas and being both maniacal and a huge wuss. Richard Stephen Hovitz as Billy also being excited, but more sad that Christmas could be ruined, which is pretty funny for the character. Grey Delisle as Mandy pretty much being the same as she normally is, as she should be, but she's forced to be a little bit more cheery than normal, but only a little.
You know what I want for Christmas, Santa? I want the world to be free of you blood-sucking monsters.
But what really steals the show is Carol Kane as Mrs. Claus, Gilbert Gottfried as Santa, and Malcolm McDowell as the vampire Baron Von Ghoulish. I shit you not.
Singing in the rain, I'm happy again.
Carol Kane has an absolute sweet voice for Mrs. Claus, which becomes hilarious when she starts saying a bunch of weird shit.
It's okay, everyone. It's only death.
Gilbert Gottfried as Santa. Need I say more? It's both unfitting and perfect for Santa, something only Gilbert Gottfried can do.
I'll swallow your soul!
But Malcolm McDowell as Baron Von Ghoulish. Magnificent. At first, he appears to be commanding and evil, but turns out to be a huge sissy and has such a joy in his voice when he starts talking about saving Christmas. All coming out of Malcolm McDowell's voice is just great.
You staked a little too far to the left. Hit my trusty vacuum cleaner.
The whole special is filled with really fun gags, fun Christmas and winter designs, and it ends with Round and Round by Rat. You really can't get any better than this. Seek this one out for sure. It's a little longer than the others and isn't available on any official sources, but it's totally worth it. Let's stick with Cartoon Network and talk about Ed, Edd and Eddy in the episode Jingle, Jingle, Jangle.
You know what happens when someone catches you under the mistletoe, don't you, Eddie?
I always liked the earlier episode related to Christmas titled Fa La 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 Ed more, but that's less of a special and more of an episode where the punchline is Christmas.
Jingle bells, giving joy all day!
Jingle Jingle Jangle is straight up a Christmas episode, and it has that perfect Ed Boy charm to it. Everyone is getting ready for Christmas, except for Eddie, who already looked through his gifts and is incredibly dissatisfied with them.
A dickie? They still make these?
So Eddie sets off in an attempt to mooch off of someone else's Christmas. All while the other two Eds, Double D and Ed, attempt to show Eddie that Christmas is more than gifts and greed. The humor comes from how often Eddie gets the shaft from everyone once they realize what he's trying to do. And it's really fun seeing how everyone else celebrates Christmas in the cul-de-sac, especially Rolf.
Deep below the dirt and rocks there lives a bearded maiden fair whose kitchen pot is bigger than her size of underwear. Hey!
There's a lot of variety of humor given how different everyone's Christmases are, and the B-plot is that the Cankers are following a light in the sky caused by Eddie's flashlight earlier in the episode. What comes from this is probably one of the funniest shots in the whole series, I kid you not.
Well, this image certainly has the Christmas spirit.
I don't know how exactly they got this past censors, but man, it's hilarious. I also appreciate seeing the familiar sets and locations all Christmassy and snowy, and I love how creative some of the other kids' houses are. Once again, a really funny episode with its share of sweet moments, though it's way more focused on the funny. Like I said though, I personally like the earlier episode Fa La 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 Ed better. I just find that one to be more in line with the earlier vibe the show had going. But either one is worth your time for sure.
Here, I hope you like it.
What is it? Don't tell me. Let me guess. Too late!
Alright, one more, and how about something different? Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I mean, hey, it airs on all sorts of networks this time of year, so it makes sense to end with something more general. And man, this is probably the one Christmas short I can say is perfect. Aside from a few technical errors, I guess. Do I need to introduce this? We all know the story. Based upon the classic book by Dr. Seuss himself, Theodore Geisel, all the Who's down in Whoville are getting ready for Christmas while a mean old creature named the Grinch is dreading the day. No real reason is given, but he does express how annoyed he gets from all the happiness and noise the day brings.
All the noise.
So the Grinch devises a plan to steal all of the Who's belongings and ruin Christmas for them. Such a simple setup with the really fun concept of stealing Christmas. This is a Chuck Jones short, so you got a lot of fun expressive animation along with some beautiful backgrounds by Maurice Noble. This is basically a Looney Tunes short in its DNA. But what sets it apart from that is the beautiful narration from the legendary Boris Karloff. He has such a calming, smooth voice that fits the fairy tale tone the book goes for.
Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Popguns, pampooners, pantookas and drums, checkerboards, bistlebinks, popcorn and plums.
All the words just flow perfectly from him, and it meshes well when Tony the Tiger's diss track comes in.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel.
You can't have a Christmas season without hearing this song. Thurl Ravenscroft has such a great voice, and the song itself is catchy and has really fun lyrics. It's just an incredibly charming special that doesn't overstay its welcome and just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy by the end of it. When it comes to the cinematic versions, I like the Jim Carrey one a lot for sure. Fun sets, and Jim Carrey kills it as the Grinch. The Illumination one, however, yeah, it's kinda lame, but that's okay because we still have and will always have this original short to watch every year. I think it's my favorite one because it's just simple. Every time I watch it, I feel like I'm back home on Christmas Eve, eagerly awaiting going to my grandma's house to see family and have fun before going to bed, hoping Santa would bring me whatever it is I wanted that year, and just, I don't know, feeling happy to be alive? Just being happy to be around my family, to have such a good day to look forward to. The feeling that we all try to achieve this time of year, something we all have to try to keep year round, really. And hey, if I can get that from a 20-minute cartoon, it has got to be doing something right.
Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
Wow! Whoa, shit. Hey, I'm here again. Wasn't that fun, guys? This isn't any sort of like, these are the greatest ones ever. These are just some of my personal favorite ones. So, in the spirit of the holidays, how about you guys share your favorites in the comments below? Because that's what Christmas is, right? Sharing our joy and remembering all the good times with each other. Well, everyone have a happy holiday and a Merry freaking Ow!